Well, God bless each of you. Thank you for joining me on This is a Day that the Lord has made, a day we have never seen before. And guess what? We will never see again. Thank you for joining me. Come on, I need you to do me a favor. Take this time and hit that share button. Put this on your page because everybody's not on my page. Everybody's not on the church page. So I need you to share this right now on your page. Guess what? Because I've got something to say. Something that I know will bless your spirit, will bless your life, will bless your heart. So come on, share right now. I want to see where it's telling me everybody that's sharing. You know, I can see when you're sharing. So come on, I need you to share right now. Hit that share button. Don't take but a little bit. Take that finger and hit it right now. Come on and share. I thank you all for joining me. I sometimes try to get to the comments, but Kimberly Green, thank you so much. Renee Adams, Lyda, Raldez, Arrington. Yes, I'm trying to see everybody, but I do want to say thank you. I don't take you for granted being here. So again, share. I hope you all are sharing. I hope you are sharing so everybody can see what you're seeing and view what you are viewing. Thank you so much for all those that have joined me on this day. I'm so grateful that God, as I always say, had my name on the wake-up list, you know, because somebody's name wasn't on there. And guess what? Because their name wasn't on there, they did not wake up. So we do thank God for our name being on the wake-up list. Amen. We thank God tonight for all things. And as I say all the time, to God be the glory for everything that he's done. Everything that he's done. I sometimes try to call names out and make it personal, but a lot of times I can't do it. Or Patricia Carradine, thank you. Persephone, thank you. I'm just trying to do some catch up. But anyway, I love God. I thank God for who he is and what he is in our life. He has been a good God to us. Even when we didn't deserve his goodness, he has been good to us. Danita Ford, Rosalind DeBerry, yes. Regina Rucker, thank you so much. And so I don't want somebody to say, she ain't called my name. I'm sorry, for real. Deborah Williams, thank you so much. All right, but we're getting ready to get started because I've got something to say. Hallelujah. So what we want to do is that we're going to do a little different twist on Bible study tonight. Now, don't click off when you hear what I'm going to talk about. And I'm going to talk about the I Love Me on Purpose conference. But it's not just focusing on conference. It's focusing on self-awareness. I want to ask you a question. Do you know your worth? Do you know your worth? Do you value yourself? I'm reminded today that, my granddaughter talks a lot. So her dad said, girl, look. And it may have been maybe 15 blocks from like 70th and Stony to the church on 84th, something like that. And he said, look, I'll give you $1 if you just be quiet from now until we get to church. And she looked at him, she said, no, I'm worth more than $1. And I thought about that. Do you really understand how valuable you are? How valuable you are. Sometimes it's not until somebody is laid in front of us. It's not until somebody is no longer with us. We can no longer talk to them. Now we want to share how valuable they are to us. Now we want to share, oh, I love them so much. But what did you do to show that to them while they were here? There's a song that I believe James Cleveland used to sing, and they just made it a saying. Give me my flowers while I can smell them, while I can see them, while I can enjoy them. Even if you don't like flowers, still, when it comes from people, it means so much. Give me my flowers. So I just need to know, what position do you occupy in your life? So many times we take the position of being in the background and everybody else is in front of us, our husband, our wives, our children, our grandchildren, our jobs, our church. Everything comes in front of us. And then when we look back, we way behind it. But what position do you occupy in your life? What position? I often think about how we have always been driven, and YouTube, by accolades, getting an approval pat on the back, an approval from somebody. We've always been reared by that. So let me explain what I'm talking about. When we were being potty trained, or when we were potty training our own children, what do we say? Oh, wait till your grandmother hears about that. Oh, we're so happy. Oh, I'm going to give you this. They even I know a few years ago, they made a potty chair that when the child uses the bathroom, it will play a song for them, their favorite song or a cartoon song, whatever. But it was an accolade thing that they got when they did the right thing. But what if none of that is around? We've got to learn, and I say it all the time, we've got to learn how to encourage ourselves. What are we doing to encourage ourselves? Encourage ourselves. I'm looking back and forth, so y'all just bear with me. But we need to understand there may be a time that we need encouragement and no one is around to do it. How do you value yourself? What position do you occupy in your life? God is always first, so we're not even talking about that. That's a given. That's a known thing. God first. But guess what? I'm right there with him. I'm right there with, because I need God to direct me. I need God to lead me. I need God to cover me, provide for me, take care of me. So I want to tell you right now, it's time for you to take yourself off of the clearance rack because your value just increased. I speak that over your life. Low self-esteem, we're going to take that off the clearance rack because your value just increased. So we want to talk about the I Love Me on Purpose conference. It's coming. It's coming fast. July 20th through the 22nd here in Oak Brook, Illinois. Real Talk 2023. That's what we're calling it. Real Talk 2023. It's so amazing that we'll put money in everything else. But what about you? Are you willing to invest in you? That's what this is all about. You must be willing to invest in you. We're going to have many things, a health and wellness fair at 10 o'clock Thursday morning. So that means you have to take off Thursday, take off Thursday so you can get an early ride out to Oak Brook, Illinois. A health and wellness fair that we're going to talk about some things concerning our health. We have professionals coming in, be able to talk about what am I feeding my body? And am I feeding my body the way I should be feeding it? Or am I not feeding? What do I need to do to take care of my body? And how do I go? See, we got a lot of things in our DNA, but how do I go from point A to point B? How do I change the dynamics of my life? I've learned even food to make you tired. Food to make you drag all day. Food to make you just want to go somewhere and shut every light down. There's sometimes food to give you energy. But what is your body saying to you concerning the nourishment that you are giving? All right. I want you to hear this. When we talk about the Health and Wellness Expo, the Health and Wellness Fair. Again, that's 10 o'clock Thursday morning, July 20th is when it will start. And we have people coming in. We're going to talk about the men and the women. So let me say this, and I'm going to say it again later. This is not a women's conference. This is a us conference. It's for men. It's for women. It's for young adults. And it's for, I like to say, mature teens. Very mature teenagers. Because some of them may not, they want to get around, play their games, but we're trying to take our teenagers to a place where they can become effective, successful adults, thriving adults. So we want you to understand that these are the people that we're interested in coming, and also we're interested in helping them, giving them the tools to live a fulfilled life. All right, we're going to have panel discussions. We're going to have workshops. I'm going to go more into that. But I want you to understand who you are, where you are, and the value you have on yourself. We'll plan things for our birthdays and for anniversaries, and we should. Trips. Next year, not even here yet. We just bypassing, coming past, 2 months in this year, but we already plan. Oh, next year I want to do this. Nothing wrong with that because you should plan. But invest in yourself when it comes to everyday living. Everyday living. So again, Thursday morning, we're going to be talking about the health, the wellness. We have a bodybuilder that's going to come and talk about how to take. Now, I'm not into bodybuilding, but she can tell us other things about our body, how to nurture this body, how to take care of this body, how not to let this body go down, but how to keep our body as the focus. I have a saying that I've said for years. Don't wait till your body screams at you. Listen to it while it's talking to you. Listen to it while it's talking to you. But majority of us wait until it screams at us. And now we got this going on. We got that going on. But if you just take your time and focus on your body. So we're going to start out that Thursday, July 20th, talking about the ticking time clock of our body. The ticking time clock of our body. That's all our body is a ticking time clock. That's what it is. We're going to address that. And then we're going to go and have a panel discussion. And we're going to talk about the panel discussion. We'll be talking about the ticking time clock of life. Life will pull you down. Life will weigh you down. Have you ever been so tired? You said, I'm so tired, I can't hardly think. Everything is going on around us and everything is upon us. It's life. There are certain things we can't change because it comes with life. You may be tired of working and you know you got a few years before you retire, and that ain't nowhere. Some of y'all, that ain't nowhere in your near future because of your age. But understand this. Now I have to turn things around. God, help me to enjoy everything that you have put in me and in front of me and in my path. The ticking time clock of life. Yes, the ticking time. What do I need to do? Because life is just slipping away. I've seen people that have passed away prematurely, not because it wasn't their time to go, but because they didn't enjoy life while they had the chance. I think about years ago, and some people on here can verify this, that years ago, they used to say Las Vegas was Sin City. So when it came to Las Vegas being Sin City, what do y'all think happened? The Saints could not go to Vegas. The Saints could not go to Vegas because it was Sin City. And so I recall when my dad passed in 1996, and he and my mom's wedding anniversary was December 23rd. So I didn't want her to be here in Chicago. I wanted to take her away for her anniversary, just do something different. They had been together it would have been 51 years in December. So we went to Vegas. She had never been there. I just decided, well, let's go to Vegas. She and my dad went to Hawaii all the time, but let's go to Vegas. She was in utter shock when she got off that plane and looked at Las Vegas, the lights, all of this. She said, and the first thing she said was, if your dad had just come to Vegas, how he would have enjoyed it. She said, I promise you, we wouldn't have went to Hawaii every year. Your dad would have came right here to Vegas at least 2 or 3 times a year. And I thought about that and I said, wow, how he missed out on that because somebody said it's Sin City. If it's Sin City, does it mean everybody there is going to hell? Does that mean everybody there is sinning, whatever your definition is of that? But she said if he had just come. So many times we're going through life not enjoying the things that God has for us, not enjoying life, not enjoying living. Some of you all are living, but you're not living. You're not enjoying life. You're not enjoying those things that God has put in front of you that you can really take time and say, wow, sometimes we put so much into our birthday. I want you to hear this. Nothing wrong with that. But why are you putting so much into that once a year day for you? There's a song that says, we thank God and God this, and oh, thank you, Jesus. And we always say every day is a day of Thanksgiving, and it is. But what about celebrating your life all the time? Not just that one day. Now, that is a special day, so you may add some ingredients to it that will make it really special, but enjoy life every day. We have lived life, and life has sucked everything from us. But I'm here tonight to encourage you. God wants the best for his people. People in the world are enjoying more than we are. God wants the best for his people. There's a song, I forgot who sang, giving you the best that I got. That's what God is saying to us. Look, daughter, look, son, I'm giving you the best that I got. Now, what are you going to do with it? How are we going to enjoy life? How are we going to go to the next level? I don't want to leave this earth and say, well, she lived, shoulda, woulda, coulda. No, I'm going to live, and the words are going to be, I did. Now, it ain't going to be wrong. It's going to be pleasing to God, but I'm enjoying this. Come on, people. We must understand the ticking time clock of life. As we go through life, things literally suck the energy out of us. Things literally are chipping away at stuff, and we live so unhappy. I was telling somebody earlier today how so many couples stay together not happy, but they feel that's what they're supposed to do. They stay together for the children. They stay together, well, you know, my mom and dad, they never divorced, so I'm staying. And I'm not encouraging divorce. Please don't take that wrong. But what I'm saying, what can you do to make it right? Sometimes it's just getting therapy, marriage counseling, family therapy. That was something that nobody pushed years ago. Years ago, you did not hear about therapy. Not that it wasn't there, but when they said therapy, woo, we know why you're going to therapy. It always had to be something mentally wrong to go to therapy. Let me tell you something. When you go to therapy, you're mentally right. You're facing reality. You realize I need help. Sometimes there are things that we have carried over from our childhood and into our adulthood. You may have suffered with rejection when you was 5 years old. You are now 62 and you're still dealing with rejection. You pretended to have the best family in the world. You pretended that you were so loved by your family. But if anybody ever sat and really talked to you, you'll begin to say, look, my family didn't love me, or I didn't feel their love, or my family ousted me out. My family didn't care about me. My family did this. You'll begin to realize I'm no longer pretending to be something that I'm not. That's the thing in the church nowadays and before. But I tell people, I accept you where you are and not where I want you to be. And I think that's the problem we do in churches. We accept people for what we want them to be. This is what I want you to be. And I see this. Times have changed. No, I accept you for who you are and not where I want you to be. God will change. We're so busy correcting other people and saying what they should or should not do. But what about God? He's an all-seeing God. He's an awesome God. He takes care of us. He wants us to have the best. He wants us to enjoy life. He wants us to laugh. Yes, he said, weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning, which means he don't want you crying all the time. He wants you to enjoy life and everything that life has to offer you. Oh, people. Then, that Friday morning, see, we want you to come to all 3 days because you're going to get something out of every day. That Friday, July 21st, starting that morning, Dr. Tyra Owsley will be speaking on the upside of down. Oh, think about that. Think about that. The upside of down. We focus so much on down, but if you learn how to turn it, and this woman has learned how to turn some things around in her life, not focus on life as it is, but focus on life as what it's going to be. Because if we focus where we are right now, we'll get discouraged, we'll get down, we'll get sad, we'll start crying, we'll get pitiful. But I'm not focusing on that. I'm focused on where I want life to be. So the upside of down, that starts Friday morning. Then we're going to move this. Let me tell you a little bit. This session is going to give you principles necessary so you'll know what we're talking about. This session will give you principles necessary to deal with life challenges, pain, suffering loss, divorce, and singlehood. How do you turn your struggles into a fulfilled life? We need you to hear from the experts who have overcome these obstacles. I don't want to put anybody in front of you that has never faced an obstacle, that has the perfect life, that has never been through anything. No, this is a young lady that has been through some things. So she can tell you how to look at the upside of down. And then we have a workshop in the afternoon saying the war within. I'm fighting something you can't see. Woo! Think about that. The war within. I'm fighting something you can't see. If it's a war within, nobody knows what you're going through. You're smiling, you're laughing, you're you're going out to eat, you're taking trips, you're dressing real nice. But there's a war within, and you're fighting something. And that is by my own daughter, Dr. Jasmine Hardy, an awesome forensic psychologist. Somebody said, well, how long has she been doing this? That girl has been analyzing people all her life. But it's not about analyzing people. It's about analyzing the situation. What can you do to overcome that war within? I like to hear her because she'll talk. She's like me. She'll give references back to herself as to things that she has fought. I'm not telling nothing that she hasn't said because I'm not going to do that. But she even openly said, and she said that at the conference last year, how she has suffered with low self-esteem basically all of her life. Now, if you saw her or knew her or know her, you wouldn't see that in her. Because she has my personality. She's jovial. She's likes to have fun. She's a comedian. But if you saw, you wouldn't even recognize, wow, Jasmine, low self-esteem, forensic psychologist. But she had to even find herself in her studies. And sometimes we need to listen to other people. I don't care, parents, how much you tell your children. Your children will listen to somebody else before they listen to you. That's just how my kids have done it. Your child will come home and say, oh, mama, guess what Miss Tommy Lee said? And when they tell you, you're sitting there like, I really want to tell them, I've been telling you this for years. But it didn't take you, it took Miss Tommy Lee, somebody that's neutral, somebody that's not connected to them in the form of being a father or a mother. So again, that's another workshop. The war within, I'm fighting something you can't see. We all have something that we're fighting, we're wrestling with, we're tussling, and nobody can see it because we have not let it out. Even our family don't know. Our loved ones don't know, but we know we got to fight. Sometimes we can't wait to be by ourselves. And sometimes there are some people that have to have people around them and always got to feel needed or wanted. But there comes a time that you have to understand, is this a good thing in my book or is it a bad thing? Is it going to help me? Is it going to nourish me? Nurture me? Am I being nourished by it? Come on, somebody. Y'all need to listen. Then we have afternoon breaks. And then Friday evening, Reverend Stephen Thurston. Listen at this. He's going to talk about a real talk in an argumented world. Real talk. And this one is in rare form. Real talk. A man that has a good word. Real talk. He talks about pain sometimes. But sometimes what we do is we just accept the pain. We become immune to the pain. We become accustomed to the pain. So we're not trying to make it better because, I could take a lot of pain. I've been in pain all my life. But when are you going to stop accepting that and say, you know what? I may have been accustomed to it. I may have had pain all my life, but I am sick and tired of being in pain. God heal me. Whether it's pain in my heart, whether it's pain, things that I remember that's causing me pain, or whether it's physical pain, emotional pain, whatever it is, there comes a time you must get sick and tired of being in pain and stop willing to sit there. And I've told people before, if you got to sit there a minute, it's all right, sit there, but get up. Don't stay there. Sit there and then say, okay, now I've been here, I've been in this stuff long enough. Let me get up. Real talk. Reverend Stephen Thurston, that's Friday night. Saturday morning, and we had this young lady that spoke last year, awesome, Dr. Love McPherson. Now, she's going to be with us Thursday night also. She's going to be with us Thursday night because we have a panel discussion Thursday night, question and answers. We'll also have it where you don't have to openly give a question. If you need to write it down, you don't even have to put your name on it because we're not there to have anybody come forth in front of everybody and say, my name is Boshika. And no, we're not doing that. But if you want to ask it openly, you can. Or we'll have cards for you to write your question on with no name. It's totally up to you. But Dr. Love McPherson is coming for our brunch on Saturday morning. And it'll be over by 12, no later than 1. But hers is, who am I? I'm giving y'all some good topics, y'all. Ooh-wee. Who am I? The power to own your voice. The power of what you speak. Quit living vicariously through somebody else speaking on your behalf. No. We're not going to do that. We're not going to live vicariously for somebody to speak. I don't need you to speak for me. The power to own your own voice. Who am I? Even the Bible says you shall have whatsoever you say. So why are you dependent on somebody else to speak over your life? No, you shall have whatsoever you say. Now, sometimes God sends somebody along and they will encourage you. They'll say something. And when they say something, they're saying it and they're confirming what you have said or what you feel. But you've got to learn how to own your voice. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? God said, for I have made you. I know the thoughts I have concerning you. He said, with an expected end, which means I have given you hope in every situation in your life. You are not a hopeless man or a hopeless woman. You have hope because I know the thoughts that I have concerning you. Come on, people. Reverend Kevin Vassar is going to be our psalmist for the 3 days. He's going to be there on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We got some good stuff for you, but I want you to take from this because so many times we go to conferences, we go to things, we hear things, and when we leave them, we left it right there where we were. I like to know even those from last year that went. I like to know, what did you pick up? What did you learn? What did you take home with you? And how have you used those tools that you were provided to enhance your life? After the conference, your life should be enhanced. You should be better for it. You should be better leaving than when you came. Don't just leave it at the door. Don't just leave it in the hotel. No. When I hear something, I say, "Ooh, what can I learn from that?" Robin on Good Morning America, and this is her 10th year having a bone marrow transplant. And they've been pushing it all on TV for everybody to get swabs so you may be able to be a donor. But you know what I got? She said her mother used to tell her, and see, I can't act like I thought of this. I have to give her props. She said her mother taught her, Robin, make your mess your message. Make your mess. We've all done wrong. We've all had some dark times, but what message can I pull out of my mess? Some people, well, I'm fine. I'm all that God want me to be. Ain't nobody perfect. But whatever mess that I've stirred up, whatever mess I've been in, you know what, God, let me make my mess my message. That's why so many of you have a message that I would never have. You've done things I've never done, and I've done things you have never done. So whatever I've been in, I can make that my message. People look at me, and yes, I'm on the pulpit on Sundays, and I'm preaching, and I'm teaching, but in actuality, and people, they'll kind of turn their nose up, but it don't matter because it's the truth. I'm actually a shy person when it comes to, I really never liked speaking in front of people. Never have. When my father passed away and I suddenly became pastor, I'm saying, man, God does have a sense of humor. Why am I the pastor? Somebody said, well, didn't you think one day you would be? No, I never thought, never dreamed of it. Never envisioned it. That's not what I wanted to do. I was his pusher. I was his go-to person. I was his hype man. Whatever he needed me to do, I was doing. I didn't need a title. And that's another thing, people. Don't look for titles. There's nothing wrong with them. Let me say this. When I say don't look for titles, there's sometimes when people don't get a title, they feel less than who they are. A title don't make you. You make the title. Some of your greatest ministers are people that have never been ordained as a pastor, as a minister, as a leader, as a teacher. But they're some of your greatest people when it comes to doing the assignment that God has for them. And what we need to do, people of God, please hear me. Be careful pushing back what God wants to pull forward. Now, I want y'all to get that. And when you complain about the assignment God has for your life, you're actually complaining about God's will in your life. That's you complain about God. Oh God, why you got me doing this? Obviously, he counted you worthy. And that's where you should say, wow, God, you counted me worthy of doing this. God's not going to put more on you than you can bear, but God's not going to put nothing on you that's not in you. God knew, and I'm not bragging, but God knew I had what it took to be a pastor. God knew I had what it took to build a church, because there were people I thought were friends that doubted me when it came to building a new church. There are people that doubt women in leadership. They just feel the woman can't, But God can use whoever he pleases. So don't push back. See, we got to watch what comes out of our mouth. And then what happens is that when we keep saying these things, what happens is that God would just strip us of the gift that he gave us. Strip you. And then all of a sudden, ain't nobody asking me to do. I can't even think for myself. I can't do this. No. Understand, don't deny God's assignment in your life. All right? Real talk. What are you doing that God has given you to do in this season in your life? Do you value yourself? Do you give yourself self-love, self-nourishment, self-awareness? It's important, people of God, that we do what we're supposed to do when it comes to us, taking care of us. Here I am starving to death, but I'm making sure I'm feeding everybody else. Here I am looking raggedy, but I'm making sure everybody else is clothed. No. I used to hear people say, regarding their children or whatever, they say, if I have a quarter, you have a quarter. No, that means I have given up everything I got. No. If I have a quarter, you got a dime because I got 15 cents. And I don't mean that in a rude way, but you know what I'm saying? Never just give all that you have. You have to make sure. No, what I have, hey, I don't mind sharing it with you. But if I give all that I have to you, I have nothing. I have nothing. This conference is needed in days and times like this. My shirt says, and I don't think you can see it, but my shirt simply says, take care of you. Take care of you. Again, take care of you. You matter. I used to always say it, and not that I was the first one to say it, but I used to always use it as an example for years. Now I hear everybody saying it. Take the mindset that they have on the plane. When your oxygen falls and those masks come down, put it on yourself first before you try to help somebody else. Because if you're trying to help somebody else and you can't breathe, they may live and you gone. Take care of you. What is it I knew? What makes you happy? Now, I'm going to ask that question because I can kind of see some comments. Now, usually I can't see comments because, I don't have everything in front of me. But let me, what makes you happy? Now, please, listen at this. Please don't say helping other people, feeding others, being there for my family. No, what makes you happy? It has nothing to do with nobody else. What makes you happy? And let me see if anybody gonna put in their comments. What makes you happy? Oh yeah, it makes us happy when we could take care of somebody, feed somebody, help somebody. But we're not talking about that. You may say quiet time, reading a book, going out of town. Even if that means you're going out of town by yourself. I've gone on a few trips by myself, and I didn't think about, am I going to enjoy it? Am I not going to enjoy it? But I really did enjoy it. I did what I wanted to do. I'm not one to go on a lot of tours and things. That's just not me. But I was able to take my computer, and I take my computer on every trip except the cruise. I don't take my computer on cruise, but it lets me work in the calmness, in the calm atmosphere, in the calmness of my life. What is it that you find happiness in? Where is your peace? Somebody said baking. Now, this person that said baking, they don't need a crowd sitting around watching them bake. That baking does something for them. Somebody else said dancing, traveling, eating, singing. That's why Carolyn Burton, okay, I'm just messing with you, Carol. Singing. I was going to say she needs to get back to Chicago, but she's where she should be right now. Good job. Traveling. Somebody said getting in shape, spending more time with my family. Let's forget the family, y'all. I just said that. What makes you happy? You might want to spend time with them, and then they say spending less time with my family. Somebody said concerts, going to concerts. Cooking, baking, crafting. They were making fun of, well, not making fun of her in a bad way, but laughing at our former First Lady, Michelle Obama. She said during the pandemic, she learned how to knit. Well, you know, we think of knitting being way back in the days of Harriet Tubman, maybe. Way back. And so somebody said knitting, but that's where she found her calm. Was in knitting. So she does that. She took that up on her own. Somebody said going to the movies, watching movies and shows that make me laugh, crocheting, listening to music, enjoying myself and shopping. Sometimes people just like to go to a mall by themselves, sit in the food court. What makes you happy and where do you find your peace? You know what I found out about me? And I'm not a reader. I became pastor. Now I was forced to read. Because I have to preach, I have to teach, so I need to read. But you know what I have found comforting to me was I'm writing my second book. And even my first book, it was so comforting while I was writing. I would tune out everything around me. Sit at my computer. I'm not in competition with nobody. I didn't write this book and say, if they could write a book, I know I could write a book. I will say I could care less about writing a book. But God led me during that time. He said different things that you say to encourage yourself and to encourage others. Put it in a book. That's why the first book I have is Speak It Now. We look for accolades from everybody else, but we need to learn to speak life over our own life. I may look for the pastor to say something, but when I get to church, the pastor don't preach, or the pastor is not there, or the pastor preaches but don't say what I wanted them to say. Now I'm messed up. I'm going home discouraged. I need to learn to speak it myself. Speak over my own life. Speak it now. Don't wait on somebody else to encourage you. Encourage yourself. Look in that mirror and say, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, and quit downing yourself. Quit finding all these flaws about yourself. None of us are perfect, but I'm enhanced and speak on my growth. I'm going to speak on those positive things and not focus on the negative. We want to lose weight, then, oh God, I look terrible. Well, just go back to what you did before to get up to where you were. But sometimes it's almost like we can never find a place of contentment. I hope y'all are hearing me. We never can find a place of contentment in our life. I don't look for it from my husband. He has his own physical challenges. He has his own things he's doing. He can give me contentment. He compliments me. But guess what? I also have to know how to do it for myself. Let me see if somebody said going to plays, even if I go alone. Somebody said getting up every morning. Okay, let's focus on getting up every morning. But where is your happiness and your peace? Because you can get up every morning and wake up in a chaotic, confused, tormented, ugly atmosphere. So when you say getting up in the morning, sitting on my back porch, sitting in my kitchen, watching the sun and drinking a cup of coffee. So I'm just trying to show you how to take one thing and make it bigger. Getting up in the morning looking at God's creation and saying, God, I thank you. I have a cousin that, when my mother's from Asheville, North Carolina, so she has family there. And when we go sometimes, we stay with a cousin. My mother loved to go to this cousin's house, get up early. Well, she didn't get up too early, 10 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock, sit on that deck outside and just look at the mountain. She like, LaVel, come on out here. Do I look like I want to sit and look at a mountain? Not even. That didn't entice me. I could care less about nature. My mother, when we would drive to North Carolina, that's like a 9.5, 10-hour drive. My mother literally, and I love for her drive. Lord, when my mother left here, I said, Mama, you can't drive me to North Carolina no more. Because she drove real fast. And she would drive like 8 hours. She didn't ask me to drive. She would drive the whole way. And I loved it. But guess what? When we get somewhere near Tennessee and had 2 more hours to go, she would say, LaVel, I'm coming off. I need you to take the wheel. I said, no, you could go in and drive. She said, no, because I want to look at the mountains. Mama, you grew up in Asheville. You grew up in a mountain probably. Why you want? But that was where she found her happiness and her peace. So she would invite me on the deck. I never went because I'm not looking at no mountain, but that was her. And she would sit out there for hours with her cup of coffee looking at the mountains. Flowers. So whatever you like, look how you can add on to that and grow from that. Did you hear what I just said? Whatever you like and wherever you find your peace, how you can get in tune with that, take a part of that, and then just grow from that. Don't leave it here. Well, this is what I want. I find peace in going to the movie. Okay. How can I stretch that out? I'll go alone, but maybe I'll ask somebody. I had a ladies' meeting the other day at church, and I was telling the ladies in my church, do we ever reach out beyond our circle? And I can answer for them. Majority of them, no. Almost 98% of them, no. Because this is my circle. This is what I'm accustomed with. Too, I'm accustomed to being with them. But how many of us will leave this circle, go over here, speak to somebody that may not know anybody? I may not know their name. They may not know my name. But I can go introduce myself, say it's good to see you. Thank you for coming. Hope all is well. You'll be surprised how those words will encourage somebody else. Somebody may have had a rough week, but you will be surprised how those words would encourage somebody else. Somebody said the same thing. They find their peace and happiness in reading the Bible and looking out the window at nature. Somebody say it's relaxing it's relaxing looking at the mountains. Okay. I don't even like shopping. But some people have a thrill in shopping. There's a young lady in our church, loves shopping. She loves shopping so much, she goes into Walgreens. And you that don't live here in the city, here in Illinois, she goes to Walgreens, which is a drugstore. They're not that big. She will literally get a cart and spend an hour in Walgreens. Who does that? Somebody that likes to shop. I'm not a shopper. I've never liked shopping. When I was a little girl, I remember, I don't know how many of y'all remember the store Learners and Pandora's. My dad used to take me to those stores to purchase clothes for me or whatever. And it could be my birthday, Christmas, whatever. And I just go and find a seat and sit down. And he knows. And he eventually found a sales rep at each store. And when we go there, I just sit there and they bring me clothes like I was the queen or something. But I just didn't like shopping. But some people find peace. They find that's their happiness in shopping. Some people's happiness is in going out to eat. And some people's happiness is, I can't enjoy this kind of restaurant all the time, but I find such happiness and peace in this 5-star restaurant that I really can't afford it. Treat yourself maybe every 2 months. See, you have to make life enjoyable. If you sit and scrutinize everything you want to do, I'm sorry, You're going to eventually not do any of it. Because now you're trying to figure out, I got to pay this. And I'm not saying, people, please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying spend all your money and now you broke. No, take care of your bills. Your credit is your life. Credit is everything. I had to build my credit because I shut all my credit cards down. I'm like, I don't need no credit cards. I'm not buying nothing. But I realized if I wanted good credit, I had to open up credit cards and put a little bit on there, put $30 on there, and then pay that off the next month and put another 30 or 50, and that built my credit back up. Because I just cut them all up in half. Also, at the conference, we have someone that's coming, Latasha Battles. And she's going to be talking about financial, canceling your debt. I want to make sure I got it right. Let me see. But she's going to be talking about financial debt, how to save, how to invest, how to build your future with your finances. I don't know about you, but how many are tired of living check to check? So if someone tells us how we can change the dynamics of our financial instability to stability, you need to be at this conference, because it's time for us to live life. And not every time we go to do something, see how much we can get out of it. Ugh, this is going to cost me $95. All I got is $100. No. I want more than enough. That's why, and yes, we'll get back to that. That's why I do pay my tithe and offering, because I want more than enough. And God said if he would not open the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, he didn't say drop by drop pour. It means it's continuing. It's a continuous flow. Pour you out a blessing. You won't have room to receive. Ask and it shall be given. But we mainly look to please this. If something pleases this, we're gung-ho for it. But we also aim to please God, because God will bless you with what it takes to please this. I hope you all join us at this conference. We have limited space available. It's at the Hilton in Oak Brook. Hilton, what is it called, y'all? Come on, help me out, Jesus. The Hilton Oak Brook Resort. Beautiful resort. You'll have time to play golf if you want to play golf. Everybody knows about Oak Brook and their shopping. You'll have time to go shopping. You have time to, I won't say connect with new friends, but we'll connect with other people. We're also going to have something called Choose and Chat. What that is, that's an after hour that we will be in one of the rooms. We anticipate this on being in one of the rooms, and you'll be able to come in there and we'll just have talks. It'll probably be from like 10 p.m. to midnight. No setup, no, just come in. If you got you something to eat, I'm sure you could bring it in that room. It's going to be a very relaxed atmosphere. Choose and chat. Just something that I may not have been able to say openly, but how do I handle this? How do I go through this? Take time now to make sure, let me make sure I take Thursday, Friday, and Saturday off. Now, there's some people, they could take Thursday and Friday, but they have to work Saturday. That's understandable. But there's some of us that could take those days off and give the conference to all 3 days. Let me tell you something. You will not regret it. You will leave out of there fulfilled with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Yes, you will. You will feel free. Hallelujah. I'm just trying to see if I see a few more comments, because we're going to get off of here. If you just tuned in and didn't hear everything in the beginning, go back and watch this live again. Please do me that favor, because I don't want to repeat everything again. So go back and watch this live again. I've told you who's going to be at the conference. We have other people, but I just have not mentioned everybody. We have workshops, and I know you'll be well fed and nourished by the time you leave this conference. Women, take care of you. Mothers, take care of you. Males, take care of you. Fathers, take care of you. And also, as I said, if you have a mature teenager, bring them to this conference, because You have to be mature to be able to get some of this knowledge that we're going to be giving you and sharing with you. I pray that you show up. I pray that you live everything that God has given you to live. Enjoy life. Enjoy life. Now, we have an early bird special, and it ends March 15th. It ends March 15th in the early bird special. We encourage you to get in on that now, because once these slots are gone, some people have already paid for their registration. Once these slots are gone, then you won't be able to get in. So we encourage you, do that now before March 15th. The earlier you do it, the more of a chance you have to get in there. Again, I talked about my book earlier. I encourage you, purchase that book. You can purchase it at church when we're there on 1st, 3rd, and 5th Sunday. So meet us there. Give somebody the money and let them purchase that book for you. $15 that you can purchase. Speak It Now. And these affirmations are good. Now, what I do say is don't read these affirmations all in 1 week, all in 2 weeks, all in a month. No, I suggest that you take these affirmations, and I believe the first one is called Happy Place. I suggest you take that. I would do one affirmation a week, or if you have to do it, one affirmation for 2 weeks, so that it could resonate in you, that you can learn, that you can say, what do I need to do to get to this place? I encourage you. We have lived too long pleasing other people. It's time for us to invest in us. It's time for us to invest in us. So again, purchase that book. Speak It Now. It is available on Amazon, but you'll get it quicker if you go through the church and every 1st and 3rd. You know somebody? Or what you can do is you can also go online to our website, ilovemeonpurpose.com. All the information is on there. So let me say this. You say, well, how do I register for the conference? I really want to come. Go to ilovemeonpurpose.com. And that is how you will register for this conference. You have to register on Brushfire. You have to register on, sorry, my sound came up. Okay, so you have to register on there. Just a minute. Okay, so now you're invited to attend the 3rd annual again, and we're getting ready to close. ilovemeonpurpose.com, hosted by yours truly, and the theme is Real Talk 2023. We just want to be, we just need to know what we need to do to move forward. All right. It's July 21st through the 23rd, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at the Hilton Chicago Oak Brooks Hills Resort and Conference Center. Again, some of our guest speakers are Dr. Tyra Owsley, Dr. Jasmine Hardy, Reverend Stephen Thurston, Dr. Love McPherson, and Latasha Battles. And Latasha Battles is doing the financial part of that, so you all know. Our guest musical artist for all 3 days is Kevin Vassar. So again, we'll be having a health and wellness fair beginning on that Thursday at 10 a.m. So that's why it's important that you come early Thursday at 10 a.m. and learn about your health, men and women. This is not a women's conference. It's a us conference. It is for everybody. Attire is casual. It's casual. But Saturday's brunch is going to be called Dress to Impress. Now, let me tell you this. It's a brunch. You don't have to wear sequin. You ain't got to wear no after 5, but just dress up. Dress up. Dress to impress. Because we want you to feel good about getting dressed. You know, these last conferences we had, we wore jeans, we dressed down. This year, for the brunch only, you're going to dress to impress. And you're not dressing to impress nobody but you. So when you finish getting dressed, you baby look in the mirror and say, girl, you look good. Man, you are sharp. All right? Registration is required. Go to brushfire.com/ILMOP. I think I'm saying that right. Go to brushfire.com/ILMOP. But if you go to ilovemeonpurpose.com, our website, you can register right there. You can make your room reservation. You can register, get the early bird special because it does go up after March 15th, all right? I also want you to know a lot of you all have already made your hotel reservations, and I appreciate it because they had to add more rooms. So I appreciate all you all that have already done that. Don't forget, if you made your hotel reservations, now you can purchase your ticket because we don't want you to come and take up a room and you're not coming to the conference, all right? So we want you to do that. But also because someone asked, they wanted to stay over that Saturday night and just have the rest of the evening to do whatever they want to do and enjoy Sunday. And the hotel has given us that extra night, Saturday night, at the conference rate. Someone did call the hotel and they said that Saturday night was going to be $300. But if you make your reservation and you check out on that Sunday, you will get it for the $139, I believe, that night. The conference rate is yours. But we only have so many rooms that they added for that special. So you would need to go and do that. If you've already made reservations and you want to stay over, go back and edit your reservation, all right? So again, our goal is for people of all diverse backgrounds to realize their fullest potential and want them to be empowered to live their best life. You will leave this conference inspired to soar in your sphere of influence. All right. We also want you to remember two things as we close. Two things. Vendor opportunities are available. Go on our website, ilovemeonpurpose.com. If you have a business, you're an entrepreneur, and you want to enhance your business, become a vendor. I tell you, last year, those vendors were blessed through the people that supported them at the conference. We had quite a few vendors, some vendors from Atlanta, and they were saying how blessed they are. They had to even go and restock. So make sure you sign up for a vendor if you're an entrepreneur, and we're offering you this opportunity to share your gift, your creativity, and your business with the world. And also, we have a souvenir book, and we're going to be letting you know more about that, where you could take out a full page ad, half a page, a quarter page, or simply submit your business card. That's on the website also, and you can get information on that. And this book will be put in hands of all the businesses that have supported us and every person that attends. So we invite you to look at that, get registered for the conference, for the hotel, vendor, and souvenir book. And you may say, I don't have no business to put in the souvenir book. You may just want to say, congratulations, I love me on purpose. You can do that also, and you'll be recognized. If you don't want to do that, we do have patrons, and it's $10 and up. And if you want to be a patron, then you can do that same way, and your name will go in the book. So again, we thank you. I pray that you have heard something. You have been inspired to do better for you. You've been inspired to be a better person from this day forward. So again, I hope to see you at the conference. ilovemeonpurpose.com. Go get that information. And I thank you. I appreciate each of you. Yes, we're getting ready for Real Talk 2023. Put those dates in on your job because you need to be there. God bless you. And I pray God's will be done in your life. And guess what? He wants to give you the best that he's got. God bless you.